Golden Jobbergs! Welcome once again to my channel. This is Sir Job and welcome to Sir Job TV. Para sa lahat po ng mga new explorers tsaka newly discovered pa lang po sa akin channel, please don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell for you to be updated with my future videos. So finally, we're done discussing the 12 milks in understanding culture, society, and politics. But I will not stop discussing to you concepts in the world of social sciences. So that's my promise to everybody. So we will still continue discussing with our lesson. So for today's video, I am very much excited to share with you a topic from the general Filipino values. We will be discussing for this morning topics about Bahala na, Utang na Loob, Amor Propio, Fatalism, and SIR. Welcome to my video number 90. So good morning once again, Golden Jobbergs. So today is February 22, 2021 and today is Monday. So I will be sharing to you some of the general Filipino values. So kung makikita niyo po sa title ng video na ito, meron po diyang nakalagay na GFV. So ang meaning po niyan ay General Filipino Values. So pag sinabi natin General Filipino Values, this is manifested in the average population of Filipino families. Not applicable to all, but speaking to the average Filipino families, nagre-reflect po ang mga values na isi-share ko po sa inyo. Studies and observations of Filipino beliefs and practices give the following general Filipino values. So as I said to you, marami po ito, but abangan niyo po sa mga next videos na i-discuss ko po dito mismo sa aking YouTube channel. So we are now discussing general Filipino values. So number one po na i-share ko sa inyo is about Bahala na or Bahala na system or Bahala na attitude of Filipinos. Okay? So pag sinabi nating Bahala na, this fatalistic outlook can be viewed in two ways. So dalawang bahagi po ito, dalawang execution po ito, or dalawang application po ito ng buhay ng isang Filipino. The first one is as a kind of fatalistic resignation which represents withdrawal from engagement or crisis or a shirking from personal responsibility. So in the application of Bahala na, may mga individuals, kasi pag sinabi nating Bahala na, this can be applied when you have big problems or major decisions to be created or to be done in your life. So nagkakaroon ka ng point, ano ang gagawin ko? So may dalawang paraan po na ina-apply si Bahala na in the Philippine context. Okay, the first one is tatalikod ka sa problema mo. Yun ang sinabi ko kanina, okay, that you have to go away from your problem, okay? You are no longer, you have no guts of facing your problems. But according to the statement, if you will run for your problem will also run after you. So, parang aso lang po ang kwentong yan na kung tatakbo ka, susundan ka talaga ng problemang yan. So, the best thing that you need to do is to face the problem. But accordingly, the first thing is, yung iba, decide talaga sila na tumakbo sa problema na yan. So yung iba po, to the worst extent, nagpapakamatay po ang mga individual na ito because they can no longer handle the situation, especially pag mga major problems na po talaga ang na-encounter nila sa buhay. So wala na po silang another outlet kundi kitilin po ang kanilang mga buhay. So that's one thing na sinabi, bahala na kung ano pang mangyari sa gagawin ko ito. Okay, second one is it involves dependence and deep abiding faith in the supernatural spirits, which will take care of everything and will provide good fortune for one's struggle against difficulties. So highlight po natin, it involves dependence and deep abiding faith in the supernatural spirits. May mga tao that they are actually pointing this one na kung ano po ang desisyon ng Panginoon, the concept of trusting the process of the Lord, that is the second option or the second application of the concept of bahala na. Si Lord na po, si Lord na ang bahala, basta ginawa ko na ang lahat, si Lord na ang magdedesisyon sa lahat ng ito. So, that's the concept. Second portion po yan, deep abiding faith, yung trust niya po, okay, sa words of God, something like that. So, faith in the supernatural spirits, okay, which will take care of everything. So accordingly, ang salitang bahala na was actually coming from the concept of bathala. So in the process, we are trusting to the supernatural spirit for whatever things that may happen for that particular decision or for that particular problem na ating kinakaharap. So that is the concept of bahala na. Konsepto po ito ng mga Filipino, and we always have to feel this particular Filipino values within us. Especially pag hindi na natin kaya talaga, we always have to say bahala na as a concept. Okay, second one is meron tayong konsepto ng utang na loob. Okay, pag sinabi kong utang na loob, this refers to a debt of gratitude. Kuha niyo po yun, highlight natin, this refers to a debt of gratitude which difficult or almost impossible to quantify. Pag sinabi natin difficult to quantify, meaning to say, no standard of measurement. Wala tayong standard na kung ito ang ginawa ko sa iyo, ito din ang amount na ibabayad mo sa akin. Kasi usually, pag sinabi kasi nating utang na loob, wala itong involvement ng pera talaga na cash na hiniram mo. For example, tulong po ito ng isang tao sa iyo that it depends on you on how you give back this particular help or this particular assistance na na-receive mo coming from the person, basically. So, it's up to the person. Kaya lang minsan, yung ibang mga tao din na tumutulong, they are expecting much more than the person is giving to them. That's why disappointments comes into the story. Nasasaktan tayo, nadidisappoint tayo at some point because we are expecting too much from the person na binigyan natin ng tulong. But that is wrong thinking, remember? Okay, pero sa mga Filipino, common po ito sa atin na pag may nagawa tayong kabutihan, we are also expecting na may marireceive tayo galing sa person na yan, which is actually hindi dapat. Because remember, once you are helping, do not expect something in return out from that. Okay, that is really the notion. Okay, so you always have to think about that. Kaya lang dito sa ating, dito sa Philippines kasi, meron tayong konsepto talaga na pag tinulungan ka, okay, kailangan mo rin siyang tulungan when the time comes na siya naman po yung nangailangan. Though supposedly hindi, but to the culture of the Filipinos, yan po talaga ang konsepto natin, okay? The Filipino feels obligated to return a favor or help given to him. So yan po talaga ang konsepto. Pag tinulungan mo ako, I will always have to think na kailangan din kitang tulungan in the future. Usually, yan po talaga ang nangyayari. Okay, napapasok mo siya sa trabaho, pag the moment na meron siyang mga relatives na gusto rin pumasok sa trabaho, and by that time, malaki na ang ranggo mo sa office na yan or sa agency or whatever na mga employer na existing, meron ka ring initiative na ipapasok din yung relatives or whatever it is, whoever it is rather, na kailangang makapagtrabaho at a certain point or an applicant for that particular moment. Something like that. Okay? But again, pag sinabi natin utang ng loob, wala po siyang standard and it's hard for us to quantify how much you need to give from that assistance given from somebody else to you. Okay? So, number 3 na isi-share ko sa inyo as part of the general Filipino values ay tinatawag nating Amor Propio. Okay? Pag sinabi nating Amor Propio, it is a feeling of high self-esteem. Okay? And is shown in the sensitivity of a person to hurt the feelings and insult, real or imagined. Okay? So, meaning to say, pag sinabi nating Amor Propio, this is actually ego defensiveness, okay? Or ito po yung dignity ng isang tao, or ito po yung one's personal pride, okay? Na pag na-touch mo yan, yung imaginary ego na yan, yung imaginary dignity na yan, yung imaginary personal pride na yan, pag na-touch mo yan, of course, magkakaroon ng conflict, okay? Kaya nga sinabi dito, to damage another person's amor proprio is to invite conflict, even violence. Okay? A Filipino is prevented by hiya, okay, quote unquote, from placing a person's self-esteem in jeopardy. Kasi meron tayong mga tinatawag na prestige. Meron akong dignidad na pinoprotektahan. So, wag mo akong ipahiya sa harap ng tao. Wag mo akong insultuhin sa harap ng maraming tao. Or else, magkakaroon talaga ng conflict. This is actually the standpoint of a Filipino. Okay, the pride, okay, of a Filipino. The amor proprio of a Filipino. Okay? This is manifested in hiya, utang na loob, and balat sibuyas or onion skin predisposition. Okay? That is overly sensitive feelings. Highlight natin yon, overly sensitive feelings. Ako meron ako nito long time ago. Even ngayon nararamdaman ko pa rin siya, pero unti-unti ko siyang tinatanggal sa aking system kasi negative po kasi ito. Pag sinabi nating amor proprio, negative po ito, especially when we are working already or even nag-aaral pa tayo. In any world, in any aspect of life na kung saan tayo ngayon as a social actor, negative po ito kasi we are so much sensitive to things. Nakarinig ka lang ng konting mga chismis about your life, you are immediately reacting. Okay, you are immediately ranting sa Facebook, diretso agad atake, which is negative, no? Na pinapahirapan mo yung sarili by embracing those mga unreliable sources, mga unjustifiable statements coming from other people. Tinatanggap mo siya. So, nahihirapan ang sarili mo ngayon. But this is amor proprio. Kaya huwag nating paandarin ang ating ego, huwag nating paandarin ang ating pride. For as long as the thing can still be controlled or can still be manipulated by your mind, huwag kang mag-react, huwag kang mag-react. So, you have to control by that season. Kasi, after all, after that particular after that particular conflict, still reconciliation will be followed. So, pero nagawa mo na siya, nasabi mo na siya. Okay? This is normal to me also kasi I'm too much expressive. Pag nagagalit ako, automatic I release my words and I release my ideas immediately to that particular situation at the end of the day. So, knowing that this is wrong, i-lesson po natin sa ating mga sarili because ang mga Filipino values na pong ito is influenced to us by our colonizers before. Specifically talking about the existence of the Spaniards here in the country. So, malawak po ang kanilang influence sa ating mga behavior, sa ating personality as a person. So, basically, atin po itong na-apply daily as we go on with our interaction. So, as a social actor in this generation, I hope, panawagan po ng video na ito sa inyo is unti-unti po nating i-lesson kasi hindi po natin ito matotally blot out sa ating sarili. So, we have to gradually lessen these particular things within ourselves in order for us to have a harmonious relationship with all the people that surrounds us, no? Hindi natin maiiwasan, may mga talagang magte-test with our patience as we go along with our interaction, but still you have to control yourself because at the end of the day, it's not your problem but it's their problem kung dinistorbo nila ang buhay mo or if they are gossiping about your life at the end of the day. For as long as you are clean within yourself and you know yourself better than them, so it's no longer needed na mag-explain ka sa sarili mo para sa kanila. So basically, pag sinabi nating amor proprio, this is something that is our considered as our dignity, as our pride, na pag na-touch po ito, na-hit po natin ang boiling point ng isang tao. Di ba nagsasabi, I am good, but when you hit the boiling point, of course, makikita mo talaga ang pagiging isang dragon ng isang personality ko. So, something like that. May mga taong nagsasabi po sa atin ng ganyan. But again, wag po tayong mag-apply ng overly sensitive feelings. Kasi it's a negative po. Especially when you are working, pag too much sensitive ka, ikaw po ang talo always. So, kaya learn to ignore and learn to be strong with your emotion. Okay? Kahit anong sabihin nila sa'yo, stand up. No? And be brave to face the world because at the end of the day, hindi naman po sila ang mag-judge sa'yo. It's only the Lord in heaven. So number 4 na isi-share ko sa inyo is all about the concept of fatalism. Okay, part pa rin po ito ng general Filipino values. When we are speaking of fatalism, it refers to the belief that all events are naturally and supernaturally predetermined. Meaning to say, nakaset na po ang lahat. Okay, before mo pa siya natagpuan, before mo pa siya na-encounter, before ka pang dumating sa araw na yan, nakaset na po ang lahat. Events are naturally and supernaturally predetermined. Okay? The mental attitude of submission to the inevitability of the power of fate. Okay? Or the acceptance of one's fate with stoicism and or lethargy. So meaning to say, ang utak po ng isang Filipino, nakadesign na po siya, okay, na lahat po ay nakadepende na po sa tadhana. Ganun po siya. So parang we are always relying na, merong destiny. I believe that there is destiny. Nangyari siya because nangyari siya. Because nakatadhana po talaga siya na mangyayari. So ganun po. It is the attitude of submission to the inevitability of the power of faith. Meaning to say, hindi na maiiwasan talagang mangyayari. Whether we like it or not, pwedeng mangyari at posibleng mangyari. That's the concept of fatalism. By the way, meron tayong na-mention na dalawang salita dito. We have the stoicism and lethargy. Mga konsepto ito na ang ibig sabihin ng stoicism ay endurance of pain, and ang lethargy naman po ay causes you to feel sleepy or fatigue. So, para makaiwas ka sa mga bagay na ito, para makasurmount ka sa mga painful situation na ito, or you have reason for being lazy, so ang sasabihin mo ngayon is naka-destiny na po talaga, nakatadhana na po ang lahat. So, yan ang ilalagay mo sa utak mo in order for you to surmount things like this na may encounter mo sa buhay. Okay? So, use phrases such as itinalaga na ng Diyos. Meron tayong mga linyang ganito na itinalaga na po ng Diyos ang lahat. Iginuhit na ng tadhana. Okay? Nakadrawing na po ang lahat. Iginuhit na po talaga ng tadhana. So, wala na po tayong magagawa. According to the concept of fatalism, we cannot do something out from this one kasi iginuhit na po siya ng tadhana. Or, gulong ng palad, the concept of gulong ng palad. This is very common to the Filipinos pag meron tayong na-encounter na isang mayaman at saka minura ka or sinakta ng damdamin mo or whatever na ginawa ng taong yan sa'yo. Diba, we always have to say, gulong ng palad. Okay, meaning to say, nasa taas ka ngayon, babagsak ka rin bukas at ako naman ang pupunta sa itaas. So, something like that. Umiikot po ang buhay. This is usually the normal thinking of the Filipinos as we go along with our interaction as a social actor. Okay, we also have the concept of malas or napasubo. Okay? So, something like that. So, these are the phrases na ginagamit natin in applying the concept of fatalism as a general Filipino values. Meaning to say, the concept is, the thinking of a Filipino is lahat po ay nakatadhana na. And I believe that there is destiny. So, whatever is happening right now sa paligid ko, or what is happening right now sa buhay ko, yan po ay nakatadhana. And I have no control about that. Kaya nakasaad dito, submission to the inevitability of the power of faith. So number 5 na i-share ko sa inyo ngayon is the concept of SIR. Hindi po to SRI ha, na natatanggap ng mga government employee. Ito po ay SIR or SIR. It refers to smooth interpersonal relationships. Okay, ang ibig sabihin pala ng SRI ay smooth interpersonal relationships. Pag sinabi nating interpersonal, this is actually referring to people smart. Meaning to say, marunong tayong makipaghalubilo sa tao. Okay, smooth interpersonal relationships such as the use of polite language, soft voice, gentle manner, euphemisms. May video po ako nito na nagdi-discuss ako ng the use of euphemisms, so hindi po natin i-spoil ang discussion. But part po siya sa discussion ng SIR. Euphemisms and ambiguous expressions. Okay? All of which are intended to avoid directness or frankness. Ito po yung mga konsepto ng mga Filipino na meron po tayong gustong sabihin, but because it's hard for us to tell it frankly to the person na kailangan nating pagsabihan, okay, dinadaan po natin sa mga soft voice, dinadaan po natin sa gentle na pamamaraan, dinadaan po natin sa mga euphemisms, yung mga magandang salita, para hindi siya directly masaktan. But actually, inside of us, galit na galit tayo and we want to tell this line, actually exact from the line, pero hindi natin pwedeng sabihin kasi ang always nating iniisip is baka masaktan yung person na tatanggap ng statement. Pero ako, I have different thinking about this one. Etong SRI kasi, okay siya for the kind of relationship. Pero, pag meron kang gustong sabihin sa kanya, you have to tell it frankly. For me, that's my opinion. Kasi, it's better to tell the truth to the person na kailangan mo talagang pagsabihan. Okay? Because at the end of the day, what's wrong with telling you the truth? Iyan ang katotohanan eh. And of course, to the receivers of every message, kasi this is usually the problem of our society. Minsan kasi, ang pagtanggap natin sa mensahe, okay, coming from the other person is different from the expression of that particular person na nag-deliver po ng message. Especially pag ang mensahe po ay nasa chat, nasa text, nagbavary po ang interpretation ng isang tao. Kasi even po sa oral po na communication or dialogue, meron pa pong nangyayaring mga ganyang mga misinterpretation with our communication. Basically, kasi iba ang tone. For example, like ako, pag nagsabi ako, talagang malakas ang boses ko para akong galit, something like that. Pero that's my normal execution or expression of my idea to you. Okay? So, kailangan as a person also, as a social actor, we always have to be open-minded with this kind of possibilities. Okay? Kasi iba-iba po ang mga personalities ng tao and we always have to accept that one. So, kailangan as a person, kung ano po ang way of telling, kailangan ipasok mo po yung sarili mo, okay, I have to understand. But sa SRI kasi na concept, because this is common to the Filipinos, na nagagalit tayo when somebody is correcting us, when somebody is giving suggestions, when somebody is giving recommendations, especially kung ang nagbigay sa'yo ng suggestion is lower position than what you are standing right now, nasasaktan ka, nagagalit ka because you are thinking, uy, nakaisip siya ng mas maganda over me and my position is higher than this particular person. So basically, nagagalit tayo. So that is why, to the other Filipinos, in order for us to avoid problems, okay, in terms of communication, so they chose to have this particular attitude, okay, yung SIR, yung smooth interpersonal relationships, meaning to say, I have to deliver my idea to you or I have to deliver my words to you properly. Okay, in a manner na napakaganda po ng feeling, no, ng isang tao na tatanggap po ng mensahe. So, something like that. So, at some point, meron siyang positive, pero at some point din, may negative din siyang impact. It depends upon you how you will have to execute. But for me, kung ako po, I have to chose to be frank na lang. Na parang gusto kong sabihin talaga what is the thing that I want to share for that particular person at the end of the day. So our lesson for this morning points out directly to the concept of bahala na, utang na loob, amor propio, fatalism, and SIR. So ito po ang 5 sa mga general Filipino values na ating i-discuss sa aking YouTube channel. Marami pa po ang mga Filipino values na ito. Abangan nyo po sa another video na lalabas here sa aking YouTube channel. So that will be all for this morning. I hope you learned something from this video and I hope that you will share this video to your friends and to anybody else that you think nangailangan ng video na ito. Asahan niyo po that Sir Job TV will continue to discuss more meaningful discussions, especially in the world of social sciences. Thank you once again for watching. Bye-bye!